Hey, good morning. Welcome to September 1st, baby. 2020. Here we go. Get excited because I guarantee this. The fourth quarter, which is coming right around the corner here, is not what we expected going into this year. We got 1 month left to get everything prepped up to make that happen the way we want it. So I love September because it really helps us gear up for that. Lots of good things usually can happen for business in the fourth quarter, depending on really almost no matter what business you're in. So let's make it happen. Hi, Rosa. Nice to see you here. Okay, before we get into today's content, let me introduce my co-host, Mr. Ronan Rahman. Where are you, buddy?
Here I is.
Yay!
For those of you who grew up with the Little Rascals.
Here I is. You know what FU stands for? Follow up.
It does. It does. And so big FU to everybody.
Go follow. It's a great month to be following up.
It is.
People spend money. People spend money. Businesses spend money in the fourth quarter every year.
What do they spend it on?
Anything they can. Anything they can justify that they want to
reduce their budgets. Yeah.
Clear out their, reduce their tax liability, all that good stuff. So,
hook and blow, right? For the Christmas party.
I don't know about that, but yeah. All right. So, hey, let's get into this. What are we talking about today, Ronan?
Why don't we talk about 3-point power profile?
That sounds like a good idea. For those of you who did not hear that, it's the 3-point power profile. Because you went really
back. Take my retainer out.
It's all right. All right, anyway, good.
Yeah, let's do it. I'm going to scoot out of here. But here's the thing, though. We are live. And because we're live, you can comment. You can ask questions. You can do all that stuff, and we'll respond. So let us know.
We would love for you to do that.
Yeah. And I'm going to scoot out of here. Let you do your thing.
Awesome. Okay, so the 3-point power profile, what is it? Why should you care? Well, it's very simple. There's a lot that you can do with your LinkedIn profile to dress it up and present yourself in the best light for your campaigns that you're doing to connect with people and nurture relationships and generate appointments. Today, we're going to talk about the 3-point power profile, which are 3 of those many points on your profile. There's a lot more to dive into, but during the next 10 to 15 minutes, we're going to cover what we believe are the 3 sort of first impression components. And I'll show you some very specific examples of very different approaches to it, so that hopefully will create some ideas in your head as to how you can implement this for yourself. So let's get started. Ronan, I'm going to have you share my screen, and I'm going to switch over to what I want to show you. Okay. Boom, boom. All right, here we go. So I'm going to use, I'm going to use an actual profile to demonstrate this. So we'll talk about Dana first. Dana, fantastic coach. She works with, well, it says in her headline, accounting, bookkeeping, CFO, and law firms. So if you fall into that category and you want some help getting your time back, reach out to Dana. Anyway, we're going to start with the profile photo. Okay, that's the thing in the circle, your face, hopefully, is what you want to see there. So the best approach, as we've said week after week, is have a professional make your photo, period. Obviously, this photograph of Dana, which looks amazing, was made by a professional photographer, is a very, very worthwhile investment, and they know what to do. They've been making social media profile photos now for over a decade, and they've perfected it. That's your best option. And then from there, you'll get to choose from probably, 20, 30 different poses, what one you believe is the best for your, for your profile. But here are some key points I want you to know about this picture. Number one, be very careful with your background. The best approach is to have something completely non-distracting in the background, like a plain background, as you can see here in Dana's profile. It doesn't have to be this color, but just something plain. White, black, gray, blue, green, doesn't really matter. Just plain, well, maybe not green. Green might be distracting as a color. So something subdued is what you really want. You want to avoid scenery in the background. You want to avoid, obviously, other people in the background. We've seen that. It doesn't work. One of the most common things we see people put in their background is like a really fancy, like bookcase or ornate, picture or something like that. Don't put that in your profile photo. It really does distract us from what we want to see, which is you. So speaking of you, you want to have a nice close-up, well-lit shot of your face so that we can see you. In this day and age of meeting each other virtually, we don't have much to go on. So we want to see your face, have an inviting look about you, whether that's a smile or just something friendly. Make yourself presentable in such a way that when other people look at it, they're going to go, you know what? This person looks like a nice person to get to know. This person looks like a reasonable person to get to know. Yes, we do judge books by the cover here. So make your cover look awesome. Period. The end. And then dress for the occasion, depending on what kind of business you're in or the kinds of people you want to do business with. Dress as if you were showing up to a meeting with them, whether that's a suit, whether that's overalls. It doesn't really matter. It depends on what business you're in and how you'd show up to that meeting. And that's kind of it for your profile photo. One thing to keep in mind is that oftentimes this photo shows up very, very small, especially on mobile devices, which if you don't know, I would say 70 to 80% of the people who visit your LinkedIn profile or any social media profile are doing it from a mobile phone. And so those photos can tend to be very, very small. So that's why you want it nice close up and nicely lit. Okay, next is your cover image. That's the big banner image across the top of your profile. Think of this like a billboard that's going to show off two things. One, your personality, and two, something related to your business, maybe what you stand for. So Dana is a really good example here. So we'll talk first about personality. So one of the joys that Dana gets in life is spending time with her son and doing things with her son. And so and that helps her connect on a personal level with her clients and potential clients. And so she's got this nice silhouetted image of a mom and her what looks like a son doing something interesting and fun outdoors. And that's very, very helpful in helping her connect on a personal level with people. I mean, I know it's business. We're all people as well. So don't be afraid to connect in some way personally with your clients and prospects. Secondly, this is not a good place to put a paragraph of copy. Think of a bit like a billboard on the freeway. You've got seconds, if not less than seconds, to get someone's attention and for someone to read what it is that's on your cover image. So these 3 words, real, relatable, results, for Dana were great. She happens to use those words throughout her messaging in other areas. And so that was an easy thing to pull from. But you want to make it nice, short, make it readable. Make sure you use a font type that is easy to read just by looking at it quickly. And big enough that it's easy to read again from a mobile device. I would say one thing to try to avoid are these like fancy scripted looking fonts. Those are sometimes very difficult to read in a blink of an eye. And you have to go, what does that say? What is that word? You don't want that to happen. You want it to be really, really noticeable very, very quickly. And feel free to put your logo. Dana put her logo in here. That's fine. Just don't make your logo the entire size of the thing. I've seen that before, and it looks silly, to be honest. So that's enough on the cover image. And we'll show you a few more examples here as we go through this today. And then finally, and maybe the most important part of the 3-point power profile, is your headline. Now, yesterday during our market to message match training, we showed you a formula for creating these headlines. If you were on that call, awesome. If you've done the work, even better. Put your headline idea in the comments here, and we'll talk about it. If you weren't on that call, go back and review wherever you're watching this today. The recording from yesterday's call is still there. Go through the formula and create your market to message match headline. I'm not going to go into detail on how to create it. I will, though, read Dana's and some others as we go through here. So Dana's reads, get your weekends and evenings back while building a wildly successful accounting, bookkeeping, CFO, or law firm. So that's a powerful statement that resonates with her ideal prospect, so that when she connects with somebody, posts a comment on LinkedIn, sends any kind of message at all, or someone just simply visits her profile, that's one of the very first things, in fact, maybe the first thing that people see and read about what Dana is and who she is and who she serves. And so you want to have a powerful headline for your business, whatever that happens to be as well. And if you want a formula for that, like I said, review yesterday's training. Okay, let's go to another profile, very different business type, very different style. And that's Sergio Chavez. Sergio Chavez, he is our media guy, okay, online media guy. He and his team do a fantastic job at running your Facebook, Google, and YouTube advertising, okay? And he works in all of the businesses that I run, as well as we refer him business to all of our clients, because him and his team are just fantastic. So if that's something you're doing or interested in, reach out to Sergio. His profile photo, once again, made by a pro. He chose a different style of a background. It's not necessarily just a plain color, but it's blurred out enough that it doesn't distract you from looking at him. He's got a nice, inviting look about his facial expression, and it's well lit. It shows up very well on mobile devices and across all platforms. For his cover image, that's that big rectangle across the top. There's no words or logo, which is okay. In his case, we decided together to use something that kind of shows like an over-the-shoulder look. What's it like to work with Sergio? So here's a shot of him working with an actual client. He's got some cool little charts and graphs things going on the monitors, and you don't really see that, which is okay, but it creates some curiosity, and also it creates some relatability. Like, okay, so this is what it's like having a meeting, a business meeting with Sergio, and the kinds of things that he might be bringing to the table. And so it's really a very well thought of image for what he does for a living. And then finally, his headline, I'll read it to you. Real results for healthcare service providers using Google Ads without the usual nonsense you've experienced with others. And again, I'm not going to necessarily unpack everything here. We did that yesterday during our call, but again, it's a powerful statement that means something to his ideal prospect. When they see it, they know whether or not they might be a good fit to connect with and potentially have a conversation with Sergio. All right, next, Ronan, my co-host and partner in this business. So here's Ronan, obviously a professional photograph. He's in his usual suit and tie when he goes out and meets with clients and does networking. Again, another inviting look about his face, plain background. It checks all the boxes there. Very, very good. For his cover image, it's a subtle but effective and classy way to show what he does. He generates appointments for clients. So there's someone writing with a fountain pen. It looks like they're booking a lunch appointment there, and it's effective and it's cool looking. And then again, the logo. No words necessary here, really. And then finally, his headline statement, guaranteed appointments with IT decision makers at $25+ million US-based companies, so you can focus on IT solutions. Very well written, very powerful for his audience. Works very, very well. And I'm going to show you one more because it's a little bit out of the box in a way, which is our friend Shannon Graham. Shannon works with very high-end venture capitalists, entrepreneurs, people that are just doing, millions, if not tens of millions of dollars worth of business, basically. And so he's got a very serious client, and he has a little bit more of a serious look about his whole profile, and it works really well. Black is a serious color when it comes to using colors in business. And so he's got this whole black background going on, which works great. His facial expression, not so much a smile as more so just an inviting, like, okay, this guy means business. And that works. He's also got some cool shadowing going on that I'm sure the professional photographer who made that did that intentionally, and it works very well for Shannon and his brand. Once again, a few words: transformational coaching for visionary leaders. Very easy to read in the cover image and his logo. His headline: Corner Man for CEOs. I protect your investments by getting peak performance from your founders. Resonates very well with who he wants to attract and who he wants to do business with. It's simple and effective. And I wanted to show you this one because it's a little bit outside the box, but it works in a very good way. And so there's some examples of the way that you can use these 3 points. Again, what they are: your profile photo, your cover image, and your headline. And those 3 work really well together to dress you up and paint a picture about who you are and what kind of business that you mean. Okay, I'm going to exit out of here, come back to video. Hello.
Hey.
And here we are. So I'm going to stop talking for a moment anyway. I know it's very difficult for me to do that, and let Ronan chime in and add his nickel.
Yeah, well, my nickel advice is that this is, like I say, I always relate this to doing things live. And when you are doing things live, you attend mixers or whatever networking event you're going to, or whatever function when you're going to meet people, you always want to put your best foot forward, right? You always want to dress appropriately, dress to reflect who you are and the business that you're trying to get. And this is essentially what you're doing here. You're creating your profile, you're being intentional about it, which is everything in this game. And you're intentionally choosing a banner photo that reflects who you are and communicates your message, supports the headline message, and then your profile pic is something that you want people to see. I saw one. I came across one time. It was a guy in a lawn chair, and he was so tiny you couldn't even really see his face. But I thought, really, like that, this is not Facebook, right? Why would you do that? And the impression that I got from that is that he doesn't really care. He, he's just sort of casual. And so why would I want to do business with that guy? And that it says a lot. So this is how you're representing yourself before you even get a chance to have a conversation with somebody. So that's why it's important to, like I said, put your best foot forward.
Okay. And I really appreciate Fiona here. She actually went through the exercise. I don't know if you did this from our call yesterday or not, but you actually wrote a headline. Thank you for participating. And you actually published it here. So let's actually take a moment and show that on the screen and unpack that a bit. So her headline reads, "Partnering with high-end gyms to disrupt the U.S. weight loss market with our proven high-impact sustainable weight loss solution." I cannot pronounce that name. I'm gonna guess it's Sasta. I don't know. Health, fitness, and weight loss. Okay, so great work. Really, really close to what I would consider to be a final headline. And I'm going to give you just a couple of my own 2 cents. Take it or leave it. So first of all, like I said, great job. Second, that might be a little long for LinkedIn. I can't tell just by reading it here, but it may not all fit. And even if it does all fit within the parameters of what they allow, I would say probably the last 7 or 8 words may get cut off in a lot of the instances where you might use it. So you want to pack the most powerful stuff right in the front and kind of streamline the words. So a couple of words that I would lose altogether, just to shorten the headline a little bit. I don't think you need to use the word US. I think you can drop the word US just as a couple characters there. The word partnering with high-end gyms, I'm not sure that the word partnering is what is going to get my attention as a gym. And I also don't know who it is you want to reach at the gym. I'm guessing it might be the gym owner. And if it is the gym owner, I would call that individual out by title. So maybe something like work. I work with high end might work. I'm trying to think. I like pattern interrupt words. So maybe rather than high end, try to go down the lane of maybe something like prestigious, most prestigious, luxury, what? Elite. Yeah. A different word. High end is okay, but I think there's a more powerful pattern interrupt word to use there in the place. And I'd have to do some synonym research to find out. And I would also call out the person. Is it the gym owner? Who is it that you really need to have a sit down with to explain what it is that you do? And then It says, okay, disrupt. I like the word disrupting the weight loss market. I think that's cool. It creates a lot of good curiosity. So I love that statement. I would keep that. Our proven high impact, sustainable weight loss solution. That's a mouthful. We can tighten that up. And with probably one word, it's maybe something like with our, and I can't think of the word off the top of my head, but there's another pattern internet word to put in there that would replace the words proven, high impact, and sustainable. So I know there's a word there, and I'll think about it. And when I do, I'll comment back here on this post. But I'm thinking there's one really, really powerful word to put in place of those three words right there, and that'll tighten up the headline a bit. And I don't think you need to mention the brand name and this. I think you can put a period at the end of the word solution and leave all the rest of it off. If they want to dig deeper and find out what company you work for or whatever, it should already be listed in your kind of resume portion, if you will, of your LinkedIn profile. If it's not, put it in there. But I would leave the brand name off, as well as the rest of those words: health, fitness, and weight loss. I don't think that's necessary. Your headline is there to create curiosity, so that they either A, connect with you, or B, read further down in your LinkedIn profile, maybe visit your website. But really great job. That's you're 90% there.
Yeah.
Sure.
Thanks for taking it on,
Yeah.
Excellent.
Awesome.
So that's tomorrow. The next evolution in this conversation is about messaging. Tomorrow, we're going to talk about messaging and the methodology that we use to reach out to new connections and get related to them, so that then we can set up a 15-minute phone call. And that's tomorrow. It's going to be magical, and looking forward to it. How about you?
I'm looking forward to it too. One thing, Fiona, I don't know if you can use this word or not. There's a word that I would like to be able to use, but you'd have to decide if you're comfortable with this. To replace the words proven, high impact, and sustainable, can you use the word guaranteed? That would do it right there. And I don't know if you can do that, or if that's comfortable for you or not, but that would be powerful. So just as a thought. Anyway, that's all I've got. Have a wonderful first day of the month.
Yep. Happy September. And we'll see everybody tomorrow.